Japanese, covered with falling snow. He created snow and said, "Wow, it looks so cold. I'm gonna get you some clothes. I'll go to the town and buy some hats for you. Don't worry, I'll be back." And then he went to the town. He got a small amount of money by selling some firewood. When he finished selling the firewood, he saw the street judo show. Oh, there it is. There they come.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to introduce, first of all, the senseis for the club, which would be myself, Sensei Sam Rudd, and Sensei Jeff Brisbella, who both 5th-degree black belts with General Ways Judo with the United States Judo Association. First, a little history about Judo. Judo was discovered, or actually founded, in 1881 by a professor by the name of Jigoro Kano. Jigoro Kano himself was a master in 5 different styles of jiu-jitsu, and at that time martial arts were dying out in Japan because of the advent of the gun, primarily. And what he did was he took different pieces from these 5 arts, asking the permission of his masters, and put together an art called Judo. Judo is 2 words meaning gentle way. First off, the gentle. Like I tell my students, gentle doesn't mean nice. Essentially what it is not meeting force with force. Yielding your position to gain the advantage would be a good definition of it right now. The way Judo was devised not only as a martial art and a form of self-defense in combat, but also a way to bring yourself through life by not meeting forces head on, by not resisting, having to resist all of the time to win. Right now they're just demonstrating, warming up, doing some throws. Normally at the beginning of the class we would line up. The lead student would call the students to attention, and then we would bow. Bowing is simply a way of letting everybody know that we are ready to fight, we are ready to play. In Judo it's playing, it's not necessarily fighting. Right now what they're doing is called throw for throw, yakusoka kiko. It's non-resistant throwing. It's a way of practicing the techniques without having to worry about somebody coming after you and trying to throw you at the time. You try to limit your throws to the experience level of your opponent. You're seeing a lot of falling, and people are going, ooh, that must hurt. One of the things that Judo introduced to the martial arts that was never there before was the art of ukemi. Ukemi is the art of falling, which means essentially that we can practice Judo absolutely full force, and our opponents can still get back up. When Jigoro Kano first introduced this, it was considered to be magical. When you take into consideration that most tournaments back then, whether it was straight karate or jiu-jitsu or mixed, there was no time limit, and the winner was based on who was the last person standing. Which meant quite often people didn't live through the tournaments. Our group right now is part of the United States Judo Association, General Ways Judo, which is part of Fargo, North Dakota, and St. Cloud State University Judo. We practice every Monday and Wednesday night from 8 to 10. As you can see, women are more than welcome to come in. When I was first starting out and teaching at part of North Dakota, we had a young lady about the same size as Laura here on the yellow belt. And she got up high enough to, actually she did become a black belt, and in class when football players would come in and lip off about, well, you know, I'm too big to get thrown by anybody, kind of cut her loose on them. Right now what they're doing is a form of randori, which is free sparring. It's not, they're more focusing on their attack than they are defense. Judo has the belief that you cannot win a defensive battle. You must attack. In a competition, there would be, after they went to the mat, there would be mat work where hold downs would be applied, different chokes would be used, arm bars. In the old days, knee locks and wrist locks would be used. In modern competitions, the wrist lock and the spine lock and the knee locks have been eliminated from competition. Along with the strikes and the kicks, Judo initially had not only strikes and kicks, but also taught 18 battlefield weapons. As you can see, the black belt is handily taking care of my son there, the brown belt. I'll have to talk to him about that later. Now they're going to do some attack defenses. On the attack. Some of these throws have been measured by engineers to be landings equal to that of falling out of a second-story building. Oh. Most people don't know, as a matter of fact, an awful lot of judo people don't know, but judo was actually first developed to be used against multiple attackers. Normally what we do is we would have what's called a bull in the ring. We would put somebody in a circle, and people would come attack them from different angles. And you try to throw this person towards or in front of someone else's attack, so they'd have to go around them to give yourself a little bit more time to defend yourself. With the mat space we have, we're unable to do that right now. It's okay, don't worry. These are some of the jiu-jitsu techniques that were brought into judo also. The wrist throws and elbow throws that he was applying.
Thank you very much for the judo show. By the time the judo show ended, the sky was already getting dark. He bought some necessities and wanted to buy 6 straw hats for the 6 little statues. However, he was able to buy only 5. On the way home, he placed the hat upon each statue's head.
You're a little bit warmer. As well showed you from the snow. It's so big snow outside.
But there were 6 statues and only 5 hats. The old man thought for a moment, and he then took his own foot gently on the 6th statue's head. The power of the old man's generosity brought great energy to the statues, which caused them to celebrate joyously. Sadly though, old man was always a step behind the statues. He could never catch them in the act.
行きましょう行きましょう
What's going on? Did they just... Oh, no. I gotta go.
行きましょう行きましょう
What just happened? Did I move? Did I move? Oh, my eyes are getting too old. I gotta go.
行きましょう行きましょうはいはいはいはいはいはい
Oh, I saw it that time. First, I don't have a ruler with me, but this one moved 10 centimeters to the right. Did that one just look at me? Where's our tongue? Your tongue. He stuck out his tongue at me. Did you guys see that? There. Their statues are. There must be having hallucinations. They just move. Okay, you guys don't have to believe me, but I'll go home and tell my wife. She'll believe me. She'll believe me. Oh.
Then he rushed to the home to tell his wife what he saw.